here we are again back at the Alutaguse Golden Eagle course. We're going to play a practice round, the back nine. So what we did was that we thought about questions that we should ask each other. Albert doesn't know what I'm going to ask him, and I don't know what he's going to ask me. So my first question to you, Albert, is that we know you play disc golf, we know you go to the gym. Do you have any other hobbies that you do or that no one knows?
I like to play basketball a lot, and I like to watch it as well. But pretty much I'm all into about sports. Recently I have found winter swimming for myself. It's kind of like a cool challenge to push myself, how to be in the water for like extended period. And yeah, I'm a big fan of computer games as well, but I don't have the time to play that much anymore. But still I'm a fan.
Okay.
Oi. Almost.
Yes. Stop. Otto Istelero.
So Kristo, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go with a classic one.
All right.
How did you pick up disc golf?
How did I pick up disc golf? I think it was back in 2015 when one of my friends asked me to come outside, and he said, let's go play disc golf. And I was like, what is disc golf? So he showed me the disc, and he told me there is a course in Tartu, Tendro. So we went there. Since I didn't have any disc, I went to what is called like a shop or something like that.
Rental.
So I rented one disc. I lost the disc. I had to pay for it. And the first time I played disc golf, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it again. And then the second time I went to play disc golf, I don't know what happened, but I was so hooked, and I started just practicing on my own, and this is how it grew out.
Yeah, sounds nice. When did you pick up disc golf?
When did you pick up disc golf? Let us know. Okay.
Thing about practice rounds that you can play off your mistakes, see where they are, and know how to like adapt to the different situations you find in, and yeah, you find interesting caps around the woods. One side arm as well.
Yes. Right. So one thing that I like about the practice rounds is that I like to play a tough shot. So usually when I throw like 2 or 3 shots, I choose the worst one, because it's always easy to play the easy one, but it's always hard to play the hard one. But the hard ones, they teach you so much more about how disc fly, what kind of options do you have. So what I suggest to you is when you're going out there on a practice round, try to play the difficult shot.
So Kristo, What are other like sports or activities you have done before you picked up disc golf?
All right, so I think it will be honest to say that my first sport, like the actual sport that I did, was dancing. So I did 10 years of dancing before I came to the disc golf. So I think dancing is something that took quite a lot of time. You've seen me dancing a lot.
What type of dance you do?
All right, so I used to do hip hop, and well, I started with the Melbourne Shuffle. So, all right, so yeah, shuffle. You want to see shuffle?
Yeah.
So, what I loved to do was kind of like a waves. So Albert, I know that you're single, so tell me something about women that turns you on.
That's a tricky one. There are a lot of things that I keep in mind. I think one of the things that I like the most is the voice. If the voice is just like pitch perfect in my ear, that's a huge turn on for me.
All right, thank you.
So we got this hole 12 at Alutaguse. You can see there's a man up before the basket. So if you miss the man, you get a 1-stroke penalty. So what's kind of like the safer way to play the hole is, for me it's a backhand shot. I take a like semi-understable disc. I try to flip it up to flat and maybe get a little bit turn out of the end. Why the turn? Because then I know that I'm not gonna miss the man though to the left. I'm gonna miss to the right, and if I make the mistakes right, probably it doesn't cost me any strokes. I can still have the look for the basket and probably for birdie as well. Let's see how it goes.
Come on, come on. All right, so my disc is right here, under this tree right here. So. What I wanted to tell about is that you have always option to choose how to putt. So what I've developed in my game is that I like the normal putting style, and when I'm in position like that, I like to do a straddle putt. So for example here, I have way much more wider gap to play my my putt or whatever shot I need to throw. So I'm gonna play with the straddle here. Straddle.
A good way to practice as well is to play the holes for both forehand and backhand. This hole is like specifically like forehand type of shot, so I'm gonna challenge myself to push it with the backhand as well. Now the backhand.
This is one of the signature holes for me. The reason for that is I hope the original clip will appear right now. So, talking about this hole, what I did here back in 2016 Estonian Championships, playing on the lead card, I took a disc, I throw it straight under the basket, I walk close to my disc like that. What I did, I didn't put any mini marker, I just pick up the disc and put it in the bag. So in my mind everything was alright, but the other guys around me was like, no, you can't do like that. So this is something people will remember probably for a long time. It's kind of funny thing for me, but I've grown since then. repeating the history. I have one thought. As you can see, there is one huge tree straight in the middle of the fairway. So what I'm thinking about when I'm throwing shots like that, first of all, think about the strengths that you have. So think about the shot that you can control most of the times, right? So right now for me, I think the backhand play from the right cap is better option for me. As I saw Albert was throwing the straight shot. So yeah, play for the strength.
So the thing is, it's about the percentages. What's the highest percentage for you to execute and to take the birdie?
Alright, so Albert, this is kind of personal question for you. The question is about the sports overall. So I know you've been doing sports for pretty long time, most of your life. So tell me, what is your why? Why are you playing disc golf? Why all the hustle?
That's a good one. Actually, to be honest, I cannot tell you like 100% specific answer why I'm doing this. That's a thing that I've been working on to just develop as a person, to see why I do this and what's in it for me. And that's kind of the thing that I'm still like searching.
All right.
Question for you.
Right.
Which tournament had the most influence to you as a player? That has given you more like things to learn from, or
one tournament? Let me think about it. First of all, the first thought that pumped into my head was I think every tournament teaches me something. Like every tournament, it teaches me something about my game overall, or something about my mental that I can work in future. I think, yeah, I can't tell exactly the right answer because every tournament teaches me something, and I've been living up to that thought for as long as I've been playing disc golf. So every tournament has taught me something. Yeah, that would be my answer, I think.
But I will take it a step further.
All right.
But what season then has you improved or influenced you the most?
Season.
If not, yeah, the tournament is too specific, so season is better.
You mean like a winter time season, or you mean like 2017 or 2018?
Yeah, disc golf season.
All right, I think the most, or yeah, probably 2017 was the most challenging year for me. I was playing for Latitude 64 then. I definitely set my expectations very high for myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself because I wanted to play good instead of actually practicing a lot and developing my mindset. So every time I went to a tournament, I set very high expectation to myself that I need to play good because I'm playing for a sponsor. So I think that was a huge lesson to always play for yourself, love the sports, enjoy the game, and we have a saying in DJ, most fun wins. So I'm all about fun. I like to develop myself, and yeah, 2017 it was definitely the year that changed my perspective about playing in a team playing for a sponsor? That's a good question.
All right, let's see some shots.
Let's see some shots. Let's go. Can't see the basket. Trying to do something.
So one thing about tournament or practice rounds, always keep your snacks ready, because tournament plays are long, like 3 to 4 hours, and for me especially, when I get hungry I get grumpy, and I don't need to be grumpy on the course. So get your snacks ready, keep the energy levels flowing, and play good.
Alright, so one more tip talking about the spit outs. So they happen once in a while. What I'm thinking in my mind, it's just to keep the mental strong, is that putt was actually a good putt. So I hit the dead center, I hit the chains, whatever I needed to hit. It was a good putt. Apparently this time it didn't take it in. This is a kind of difficult hole. You need to flex a shot. So basically the perfect shot would be forehand flex here, but if you don't have that kind of throw, then I will always recommend you to throw the most comfortable shot, or as we spoke before, the highest percentage shot that you can throw. So I'm gonna go with the forehand flex here. Hello.
And sometimes taking a par is not a shame thing to do, or even a bogey. Just taking down the strokes by knowing that taking a bogey is alright, taking a double is much worse. So when you're putting, do not hesitate to use your legs, because when you get more distance out of the, like when you're more further away from the basket, the more you use your legs, the legs have like big muscle groups, the more power you can get to reach the basket. Also, do not hesitate to use them like in shorter distances as well, because then you can like limit wrist action, and when you use a lot of wrist, the error to like left to right is more bigger. So try to use more legs when you are putting. So one way we can like hit our angles more on the tee or like on the course is by positioning ourselves right on the tee box. So when you come and look at the fairway, you can see there are like two main gaps. One is to the right and one is other to the left. The left one is for sidearm and right one is for backhand. There are like trees in the middle, so I cannot go like straight to the basket as I would like would be the perfect, like preferred way, but I can like position myself better to the gap that I want to hit. For example, the right side, like approach myself more to the left side of the tee box. Then I make more the gap bigger for myself, so I have like higher chances of hitting the gap. For sidearm, if I like want to hit the left side gap, I can do the same way, but the opposite. I just come more to the right side. I have a like more open look to the gap, and my percentage to hit the gap is way bigger. Think I'm not going to play to you. So Kristo, last question for you.
All right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ah, that's a good one. Where do I see myself in 5 years? So I'm 27 right now. I will be 32. All right. Let me think about it. I will see myself definitely pushing the boundaries in disc golf. I hope that eventually I'm able to earn enough money to buy a house, maybe buy a car, a nice car, and maybe start like developing more or focusing more on growing the sport instead of playing disc golf as a professional sport. So, but we'll see. 5 years is a long time. A lot of things might happen, so it's really hard to predict the future right now. But I believe that if we are sending thoughts to the universe, some things might happen. So 5 years, let's see what the life brings. Albert, my question for you. How would you describe or sum up your sports career with one sentence?
One sentence.
One sentence.
Sometimes lose, always win.
Alright, that's a good one.
So if you want to pro far, my simplest advice would be slow the movements down. Keep the tempo slow, timing is way better, and from there you can build up the speed. It's way harder to do the movements in slower tempo than it's in faster. But when the timing is right in the slower pace, you can build up the speed to a faster one, and then the power will come in.
Alright, so Albert, one more question for you. Alright, so my question is that, can you tell us something about your childhood? How did you grow up? How was your life when you were younger? What kind of challenges did you have when you were younger? Can you tell me something about your youth?
Well, I did also like a lot of sports. I did swimming for many years. I actually had like a little trauma from that because
what kind of drama?
it was like winter time, so it was pretty like dark outside, and I had a like evening session in the pool, and I don't know how, but somebody dig through the power line, so everything went pitch black in the pool, and I was underwater right there. I was like, what just happened? Like I came out of the water, everything's black. Right. You cannot like understand what's going on, and then kind of that left a like mark for like some years, and I didn't want to go to the swimming classes anymore. But then I went to school, and I don't know when's the mandatory time. We have the swimming classes that are mandatory in school, like second grade or something.
I didn't have something like that.
You definitely had. But yeah, that was kind of the time I started swimming again, and then I found like love for swimming again, and then I started swimming, and then I found badminton later. But that was kind of like the time when I didn't like do a lot of sports, maybe a couple of years.
How old were you at that time? 7, 8?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. So you're telling me that you were swimming, everything went dark, you got scared, and since then you didn't want to go to.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know. Imagine yourself like you're like 6 or 7.
Right.
Swimming,
everything powers off, everything's
your
dark.
like head is watered down in the water.
Right.
And now.
What's happening? I would love to see. I mean, when I'm thinking about that kind of situations, in my head, I would love to see the face or the reactions that we had when we were younger. You know, what kind of thoughts that ran through our head or something like that. I can't recall anything anymore, but.
Yeah. Okay, what's kind of like your childhood thing that has like influenced you the most, or has kind of like left a mark that you feel?
All right, when I was younger, let me think about it. First of all, I would say my childhood was actually a pretty good one, because we had a lot of space. We could just, I mean, we have a large family, so everybody gathered up kind of like every day. I mean, so there was like 10 children running around. We went to explore a lot of different areas where we shouldn't gone, but the thing is that we still went there. It was a lot of fun, but on the other hand, when I'm thinking about something that left a mark, I sometimes saw bad dreams, you know, and well, you know me a little bit more. I see a lot of dreams. I even tell people about my dreams sometimes when I see them coming, because many of my dreams have actually come true, so this is even more crazier stuff. But the thing is that I saw quite a lot of like bad dreams when I was younger, but I have my theory. So all the dreams that I saw grew me as a human being. So I kind of think like all the challenges that I had to face in the dreams, because dream in other world is reality. So it was in dreams, everything seemed so real, and yeah, I mean. That's something probably that left me a mark when I was younger, but since I know what happened in my dreams and I know how I dealt with the situations that I had, I think I grow up and it made me a stronger human being.
Got it. Thank you for joining us for the practice round at Alutaguse for the Golden Eagle layout. I hope, like many of you, found many good tips or tricks to use when you practice, and see you out there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks, Albert. Thank you, Margaret, for filming, and see you on the next challenge.